laying back, allow some good deep breaths to flow. Huge inhales. Long exhales. Well, we'll cover quite a few areas of the body today. Our main focus will be around strengthening and then stretching, aligning the hip area. So the hips have to do with passion. So I wanted us to take a moment here while we're laying back to think about some things that help you feel passion for life. That zest, that happiness that helps us to get out of bed in the morning. The things that bring us joy. The things that really make life worth living. Take a moment to tap into those types of things. And as we are, especially as we travel into some of these hip stretches, allow yourself to think of those passion things, whatever it is for you, hobbies, or hanging out with people, or whatever it is that brings you that joy for life. And let your intuition kind of guide you as you're pondering on the passion things. Because sometimes the intuition will tell us, you know what, you've had too much work in your life. You need to add a little bit more art or cooking or whatever it is back in. So just let your intuition guide you. Just listen for those little tiny urges to do or to be. So with this to help lead us on, let's begin. Let's start by taking the knees into the chest, one hand on each knee, rock around just a little bit. The knees a chance to start falling over to the left. Spread the arms open. A couple of breaths here. Feel how this starts opening up through the hip, the spine, the shoulder area. Lifting the knees back up. Travel over to the right. Lift back up. Drop the feet to plant close to the glutes. Slide the hands in beside the hips. Let's take a few bridge poses. So inhale, scoop tailbone up, roll up one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, roll back down, reverse. Tailbone down, very last. Especially let it kind of rock through the hip area. Inhales, exhales. Notice if one part of your hips tends to rush down before all the other parts. On this last one, after you've gone up, kind of set the whole hip back down in unison of left and right. So the back of the hips, middle of hips, and the tailbone again. Beautiful. So from here across the right knee, really tightly over the left knee, bring the thighs into the chest, grab onto each ankle. That's it. Just a couple of really good deep breaths, but especially let the hip area relax. If you don't feel the hip stretch enough, pull in just a little tighter. the legs crossed, the arms spread back open, then crossed legs fall over to the left. It pulls the spine and the hips just a little deeper than we were a moment ago. Return the hips down, uncross and recross the legs the other direction. Grab onto each ankle. Again, pull in tightly enough that you feel the stretch, and then try to work on relaxing the hips as much as possible. Arms spread open, the crossed legs fall to the left, or sorry, to the right this time, the other direction. Okay, lifting the knees back up, uncross the legs, clasp the hands behind the head. The head lifts up a little bit. We extend the right leg out and twist the right elbow to the left. Exhale, switch to the other side. You can go slow, you can go fast. Either way, synchronize the breath. The exhale happens each time you rise up to twist. Take another 3 to each side. 3, 3. Okay, if your pace is different, 2, 2, 1, 1. Head relaxes down, grab onto the block. The block is placed under the feet at the medium height, and you're putting it in the distance that allows you to lift up your hips. So if it's too close or too far, the block doesn't feel quite right. So you'll kind of find that placement, and then eventually we'll take some bridge poses with the block that lifts us up a little bit higher. So bridge pose, scoop, lift all the way up high. Exhale, roll back down. Good. A few good breaths like that. All right. Exhale, lower. 2. 1. Let the hips come back down, grab that block. We're gonna place the block under the sacrum, so lift the hips up and scoot the block under the flat part of the hips, not the bony, bumpy vertebrae. So under the sacral area. Usually medium height is pretty good for people. You can go to tall if you're really flexible in your back, but medium is usually a good height. Then from there, we'll start to walk the feet forward. The feet don't have to go all the way to the point where the legs are straight, but if the arch in the spine is comfortable going extended all the way forward, that's fine. The idea here is by lifting the hips up like this, we're stretching through the psoas area, kind of lifts it up and then stretches it. I also like how this can help to align the bones on my sacral area as well. Just enjoy a couple of good breaths. Walking the feet back in, lift the block off, scoot it to the side. When you return the hips to the ground, take some windshield wipers. Knees fall to the left, knees fall to the right. Take a happy baby before we move on. So bring the hands up to the feet above our chest. The knees open wide. Our hands pull the feet down to the point where hips are happy with the amount of stretch there. Beautiful. Releasing the feet, let's rock up to cobbler's pose. Put yourself bend the spine up to tilt forward. Eventually, we'll just release the weight of the head forward. Spine rises up. Let the legs start to travel under the body. We'll head to a kneeling place. Begin to rock the spine up and down in a cat-cow. Follow the speed of your breath. Pulse and exhale. Starting to create just a mini flow. Bump the hands another foot forward. We'll alternate back and forth between an easy cobra. You don't even have to arch that much if you don't like yet. But then pull the hips back to child. Almost like a big teeter-totter. The spine's getting this good chance to arch and round just a little bit. When you're in child, pause there, 2 extra breaths. Back up to neutral kneeling. The right leg, we extend the toes to the back of the mat, then cross those toes off the left side. So then push the hips to the right, gaze over your shoulder at those toes. Pull the outer hip, outer thigh area. The straight leg circles off directly to the right, lower to elbows. If you're not quite as deep as you'd like to be, you can inch the elbows a little closer to the straight leg. Be back onto hands for a moment. Slide this right foot up to the top right corner of mat. Take lizard so the hips inch back forward. You can stay on hands, or you can lower down one elbow to the block or elbow to the floor. Get to a spot where it feels like it's opening, especially through the front of the hip. Planting the hands, the right knee comes back to the floor. The left leg slides back and then crosses off to the right. Good. Push your hips to the left, gaze over your right shoulder at the toes. Circle this leg around directly to the left, lower to elbows. Option to inch the elbows a little closer to the straight leg and eat a little bit more. Back up to hands. Bring that left foot to top left corner of mat. From there, inch the hips forward. Option to stay on wrist, lower to one elbow, or lower to the block for an intermediate spot. Back up to hands. Bring this leg back. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips downward facing dog. Stay here as long as it's helpful. Eventually walk your way up to top of mat. Forward fold. So you can always come up to a half lift in a forward fold if you wish. So hands on the shins. That can be really helpful for sinuses or for the hamstrings. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, circle the arms up to sky. Arch the spine back just a little. And hands down to heart. Beautiful. With your block, set it down. We're going to stand the right foot onto the block. This left foot hovers to the side. In a few cycles, we're going to lift the left hip up as much as you can lift it. And then drop it down as much as you can. Not trying to make contact with the floor, but just trying to let the hips have tilt. Lift up. And lift the hip down. Go for another 3 on this side. Up. And down. 2. 1. Good, and then we'll switch the feet. Standing on left. Then it's right hip. It takes up 5 rounds. Lift as much as the hip can. And lower. Two. 1. Good work. Scoot the block off to the side, standing up at top of mat. Now circle arms to sky. Exhale forward. Lift. Exhale, fingertips down, right foot lunges back. We're going to balance upright in this lunge. So if you need help with your balance, step the feet a little wider apart, like toward the outside edges of the mat. So find that balance point, and then the torso rises. We're on the back toes. Good. Arms rise up. With the inhale, the front leg straightens a bit. Reach high. Exhale, the elbows come down to the waist. Lower down as much as you can at the bend. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, elbows in. Another 3. 2. 1. Inhale, fingertips back up. Exhale, rotate all the way up into a warrior 2. Nice and wide stance. Front knee is pulling open toward the toe. Good. Extended side angle, left elbow to the left thigh, right arm up and over. Warrior 2. Reverse. Right fingers to right leg, left arm up to circle back. And warrior 2. Good. Now turn the toes open to star pose. So each toe out to a 45-degree angle. From here, similar to the last one, the fingertips lift up high, the legs are straight, and then elbows into the waist. Bend as low as you can in a squat. Good. 4, reach, and plie. 3, 2, 1. Good. Stay low. Bring hands to inner thighs. Push the thighs open. Lean forward into it. Optional twist if you'd like. Right shoulder drops forward. And left shoulder. To equal. Straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Nice wide angle forward fold. Choose the hand position that works for you right here. Maybe fingertips walk forward, kind of like a down dog with wide legs. Maybe fingertips are up, reach through the legs. Feel what's helping you stretch through hip and inner thigh area. Hamstring, all sorts of goodies going on. Bend of the knees, roll the spine up. The front toes turn back forward. We'll open out the arms, preparing to cartwheel down to half moon. If you know you want the block with the left hand, you're welcome to use the block. But either way, we're cartwheeling down. The hand lands to a nice wide angle compared to the foot. Stack the hips, stack the shoulders. Lift the leg higher if you can. And drop hands, drop feet. Everything takes a really relaxed version of a forward fold. Or you can always go to the half lift. Resting hands on shins. Bend the knees, roll the spine up. Block back down in front of us, low height. Do another round. Right foot on the block. And 5 rounds. The left hip lifts and lowers. 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch the feet. And 5 on this side. Whenever you finish, scoot the block off to the side. At top of the mat, circle arms up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Now half lift. Exhale, fingertips down for a moment. Lunge left foot back. Again, try to get to that balance point. So feet can separate width-wise if you need to. Lunge. Right up. Inhale, front leg straightens. Exhale, elbows into the waist. Lower. 4, 2, One. Beautiful. Inhale, slow down. Exhale, open up warrior two. The front knees tracing open to ponytail. Extended side angle. Right elbow to right thigh, left arm to stretch forward. Warrior two. Reverse, left fingers to left leg. Top arm up and back. And the warrior two. Turn open goddess one more time. 45-degree angle toes. And the straight legs are there. Arms stretch up. Inhale. Exhale, elbows to waist. Squat down low. And 4. 2. 1. Hands to inner thighs, push open. Option twist, right shoulder forward. Left shoulder forward. Pull spine. Straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Another wide angle forward fold. Maybe new arm variation, maybe not. In another pose for this side, drop the hands right under the shoulders. And then take a deep bend to the right knee. Maybe we can get glutes pretty much to heel, or maybe that's too far and it's just a high lunge. Good. Option to have hands on floor, hands at heart balancing, or working elbows closer to floor, just leaning really deep into it. Trying to switch sides, get the hands ready to support you. Lift the hips up and travel over. Second side, same variation, whatever you just did. Planting the hands, straighten both legs up in the middle. Deep bend to the knees, roll the spine up. Front toes turn forward. We'll prepare for half moon. If you want the block, locate it. Otherwise, cartwheel down. Lower to forward fold. Lift, inhale. Exhale, hands climb on the floor, travel back to plank. Just shift to child pose or take the full flow. Lower chaturanga. Back into your choice. Child or down dog. over to knees. From kneeling, the right leg comes back behind us, the knees in a bent 90-degree angle, so the foot's above it. We'll pulse up and down 10 times. Push the foot as high as you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The knee lifts to kind of point to the side, and then you crunch that in, knee close to shoulder, and extend it straight back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Right knee to the mat. And bent knee lifts from left, up and down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, 1. Hike the hip up a little, the knees rotate to the side and bring to shoulder and leg straight back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop knee to mat. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Spread the right shoulder all the way through down to the ground. Left hand maybe walks forward to top of that, or maybe winds around the low back. Left hand returns to the ground and kind of face, press into it to rise. Take a breath. Now, neutral spine, left arm reaches up. And thread that arm all the way through to the ground. Maybe right arm stretches forward. Maybe wind it around the low back. Right hand returns to the ground in front of face, press into it. Neutral kneeling, taps. Cow. Beautiful. We'll go back to belly on the floor, so you can either take full chaturanga or just kneeling plank and lower down. From there, Sphinx, elbows under the shoulders. Swivel the left hand in. The right hand grabs to the right foot, pull it in for a quad stretch. If the quad stretch is pretty easy, sometimes I'll start to square the shoulders back forward. I can get into a little bit of a shoulder stretch there as well. Release the leg. Second side, swivel the right hand into cross left hand grabs left foot, hold it in. Maybe square the shoulders forward. Please plant the hands, child pose, or if you'd like a down dog again, you're welcome to put that one. Either from kneeling or from down dog, we'll transition into a pigeon pose. So right knee comes under and through in front of us. The back leg scoots back. You need the block to be under the right to help the pelvis square, that's fine. Hands stay lifted to a little bit of a back bend if you'd like, or you can just lower to elbows. Full breaths, especially through the hip opener. We mentally to that idea of passion. Let the hips kind of unwind and tell you the story, reminding you maybe of the passionate things that you used to love that maybe you haven't touched up on for years. We'll shift this pose. So come up to hands, remove the block that's there. Rock your right hip all the way to the ground. And then this left leg swings forward until it's at a wide angle at our side. But once it's there, we're going to tilt directly forward. So if it's helpful to use the block for your elbows or even block for your forehead, you're welcome to utilize the block. Lifting the spine up enough that the leg can begin to the space directly forward, and then we'll lean back forward. Okay, spine rises up. Continue to cross this left leg over, planting it to the outside of the right thigh, the bent knee, good. We'll take a little twist. So hook the right hand or the right elbow around that knee. Lift the spine up to then rotate over the left shoulder. Turn forward. We're going to switch to the pigeon pose on the other side. So if you want to go to down dog, that's fine. If you just want to place the left leg in front of you and then scoot the right leg all the way back, you can go to it that way as well. Whatever version helps. Yep, shifting hips around for a moment is always fine. Back bend for the hog, great. Walk under the left hip is great. Choose the variations that are helpful. And you get even deeper to that idea of passion, joy, zest for life. What are the activities that we do or the people we hang around that bring joy, that bring meaning to us? Is there any way that we can have a little bit more of that, a little bit more of the time? Move the block under left hip if it's there. Plant the hands. We'll start to swing this right leg to the forward wide angle. And then begin your journey tilted forward. Bring the spine up, the leg travels forward, the right leg in front of us. And lean forward. Maybe rising up, let this leg cross over. The left hand over the left elbow around the right knee. Twist around the right shoulder. There you go. I was like, I think it's switched up. We release forward. This is our transition to Shavasana. If there's last stretches your body needs, go right ahead and take them. If there's a certain type of Shavasana that would be in your highest good for your body today, that's also absolutely beautiful to come to that. But take your time, enjoy the last things, till sooner or later, time for you to head to Shavasana. Breathe up off the air. Inhales. Exhales. These little movements back to the body. Stretch out in ways that feel really good. It's nice to take a fetal position off to a side for some time. We're here for a few breaths. Connect back to that idea of passion. Love for life. The things that make us excited to wake up first thing in the morning. Breathe in how it feels to be thinking about those things. Another breath. Huge inhale. Exhale. Rise up to a comfortable seated place. We join our hands together in front of heart. We tap into our intuition, guiding us to know if we have the proper balance currently with our passions. We allow ourselves to make the commitment to listen to whatever these intuitive urges are. So with this to lead us on, let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.